Family, it's your favorite queer radio personality, Anna Deshawn, with our queer news for today. Now, I want to make you a promise. We will continue to bring you the latest in queer news, culture, and politics. 7 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So if you're digging our intersectional take on the daily, consider joining the Q Crew. The Q Crew is our monthly membership program we started to help us grow the podcast. With your help, we can bring you more stories celebrating our lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and comrade communities. It starts as low as $5 a month. Now, you've shown your support by tuning into this episode, and you can show your curiosity by wanting to watch that Felicia D. Henderson interview by clicking the link in the show notes to learn more about the Q Crew.
Period. All right. Isaiah, are you with us?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am.
Hey, family. My name is Day. You may not recognize my voice, but for those of you who tuned in last Monday, Anna dropped the announcement that I'll be joining as the producer for the Queer News Podcast. Yesterday, I had the privilege of hosting a vibrant discussion with a few friends about Beyoncé's new album. If you haven't heard it, you're in the right place because we listened to all 16 tracks, start to finish, front to back, to offer you an in-depth analysis. But before I let you hear a snippet of our conversation, consider joining the Q Crew to get the full, unedited video of yesterday's discussion. Now, let's jump back in. Until next time, family.
Today is a little different, as you already can hear, right? I am joined by a couple friends, and today we're going to talk all things Renaissance, okay? Beyoncé's 7th studio album, and we're just going to do our quick hot takes on it. We're going to dive into some of the music, some of the lyrics, and some of the visuals that we were seeing as we were listening to the album. And then we're going to play a quick game at the end. Category is. And then we're going to close out with our top 3 tracks on the album. Okay. So I want to introduce our first guest. We're going to start with none other than Andre Jamal, singer, songwriter, pianist, musician extraordinaire, currently studying at Indiana University. There's a lot to be said, but how are you feeling today, Andre?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me be a part. I'm so excited to get into the album, get into the topics, get into the lyricism, get into all of it. I'm really excited about it.
Absolutely. And first impressions, give it under 60 seconds. What was it giving for you? First impressions, go ahead.
Well, obviously like ballroom, but like disco too, like house music. Yeah, it was just, to be real, like I listened to it. My first listen was like at home and I was just like laying in bed. And by the third song, I had to get up. I had to start dancing. I had to start moving because I was like, nah. Then I've done 2 listens while working out to it, like at the gym. And it's just everything it needs to be. But I'm not going to ponder too much because I want everybody to get introduced to, and then we can start talking about it.
Yeah, we're just going to do quick hot takes and then we're going to keep it pushing. Next up, we have Kamar. Kamar is also a singer-songwriter, vocalist, student of Berklee College of Music in Boston, and one of the finest vocalists I have ever met.
Stop it.
Okay, let it be known.
You're silly. Vocal extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire, all of
I'm
it.
trying.
All of it. So how are we feeling today? What do we feel about the album?
I feel great.
Isn't it LP for the girls?
I think it is an LP for the girls. My first listen through, I was just like, she's crazy. Like something is mentally wrong with her. Like the vocal choices, the production, just all of it. Just like as soon as it starts, off rip, it's just amazing. But we'll get into that. I think it was good though. I think it was good for the community for sure.
Okay.
It's definitely what we needed.
Yes. Oh, for sure. We need to be in the clubs. We need to be dancing. She has a lot of tracks for all of that. We're going to get into it, though. Next up, we have rapper, flutist. Okay, Lizzo, watch your back because Zaya Moore is coming for you. They are a student at Oberlin College and Conservatory, and they'll be actually finishing up within the next year. Amen. So can we bring Zaya Moore to the stage in all of their glory and their light and their beauty? How you feeling today?
Of course. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much today. That was funny. I appreciate that. I'm doing well today. And as for my first take of the album, for me, it took me through, of course, it was, giving us ballroom. It was giving us modern Beyonce interpretations of what pop is, but it also gave us, at least to me, it gave us sonic variations of what her albums were in the past, right? Like for me, like what was it? The Alien Superstar, that gave me like variations of 4, right? And then like there was the self-titled in Virgo's Groove, and it was just like a bunch of different, just from her old stuff, just culminating into one continuous project, right? One, that's the word I'm looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, how I see it is that she was going back through her former projects and press and play because she never lost access to that sound, right? And Toryn, I see your wheels turning. Let me just introduce Toryn to the stage. Miss Toryn Aubrey, one of the founding members of the Beyhive, okay? Toryn was a fan back in 1997, okay? Running drills on the choreography, knows everything, an encyclopedia of Beyonce, okay? So I had to have you here, okay? And I just want to make sure that the audience knows that you are the Bible when it comes to Beyonce, okay? So give us your hot takes on your first listen through. How did you feel? What was going through your mind? Take us through it.
When I first heard it, honestly, I was like, wow, this just might be my favorite. It was too soon to say though. So nothing's going to be B-Day. I think that sonically, this was her best production. I think that what I loved from it is she gave me everything that I wanted. She gave me Fighting Temptations runs. She gave me Destiny's Child Survivor runs. She gave me Destiny's Child for field backing vocals. She gave me the siren airiness of Dangerously in Love when she would sing Baby Boy and when she would sing Naughty Girl. That same intensity and that light air is what I wanted, because personally, we all know she can get gritty, she can growl, she can holler. That's cute. But I wanted dynamics. I wanted something more lyric. I wanted something more fluid. I wanted to feel like I was floating. And that's what she gave me.
Period. Absolutely. And that really shows her versatility as an artist, right? And finally, I want to introduce none other than the Seyquan Mack. He is a model, opera singer extraordinaire, tackling the city of New York. Watch out. Watch your back. How you feeling today, Say? And also, how did you feel when you got into this album?
Hi, I am good. It's humid in New York, so I'm hot, but I'm good. It's so funny because I'll give you guys a little story. So you guys were texting me all night, like, did you listen to the album? Did you listen to the album? And I was like, no, not yet. So then I got home at 3 a.m. as the New Yorker would. And I was like, okay, before I go to bed, I'm just going to listen to it. So I listened to I'm That Girl, the intro. And then I listened to the closing act, Summer Renaissance. And I was already in heaven. I was like, this is how you open an album. And this is exactly how you close an album. So then once I woke up in the morning, I just went through the whole thing. And I was like, this is.
Hello. Ooh, y'all broke up.
Oh, hello.
Connectivity. My internet is unstable. Did you finish? You finished what you said?
I did finish.
Okay, girl.
You did.
Edit it. Period. Okay. So let us dive in, okay? I want to talk about sequencing, right? Seyquan, you just brought this up. For the girls who don't know what sequencing is, Andre or anybody else who feels confident in the topic, can you let, maybe someone who doesn't know anything about music, what an album sequencing, what that looks like, how it usually goes, and, when an artist is making their tracks and cutting their songs, why is it so important to think about sequencing?
Are you asking about like transitions, like how things are flowing from one thing to the next?
Yeah.
In that sense? Okay. First of all, dumbfounded is how I still feel about about how some of the tracks go from one to the next. And with my first listen too, I feel like I was just letting the album play and I wasn't looking like, okay, now this song's about to play, now this song's about to play. And if you don't do that, you won't know you're in the next song, which is great because with this being like a dance album too, I want to bring up some stuff about like what people have been saying in the Twitterverse a little bit too, because I feel like the commentary is always there and it's quick. But like something that folks are saying on there too is like DJs, you don't have to put in any work. Like the work is done for you. Hit the album, press play, and like it's not. I feel like there are only like maybe 3 or 4 like places where you can like clearly tell, okay, now we're in the next track. And I think something that was funny too, I saw someone on Twitter say it sounded like Break My Soul got a tummy tuck, just because it sounds like there are like newer elements and it got like remastered or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's one of my favorite things about the project. Like the project really feels, maybe it's around like the 3rd or 4th track, but tracks like 3 through like 8, just like they just go, and it just feels like you have to listen to that in that succession. It's very intentional.
Absolutely. It's so cohesive, right? I was listening to Cuff It, right? And I'm really enamored by Cuff It. Cuff It is like up there. We'll get into our tops, but I'm listening. I'm about to text y'all like, Energy is so good. This song is so good. And I'm realizing that the song that I was actually referring to was Cuff It, and Energy had already started playing and she was up there in a whole new dimension. And I'm like, whoa, sister, how did you just do that without me even noticing? Kamar, how did you feel about how she seamlessly flowed into these tracks?
Honestly, it was a gag because it felt like the album was like walking past all of her old albums saying, hey girl, hi, and just pressing play on all of them. And the way she just like you were saying with Cuff It and Energy, like they flow. You would, if you weren't looking at it, you wouldn't have even known that it switched, Mm-hmm. I just thought it was so beautiful the way that she was able to do that, because not a lot of people do that and do it. A lot of people try to do it, but it just doesn't happen in a successful way or a way that makes you feel like, wow, this vibe is changing, but still remaining the same at the same time,
Mm-hmm. And feel free to chime in, anybody. Y'all could just...
I do want to chime in. And it's so funny you say that, Kamar, because I feel like right now where we are in music, there are a portion of people that are trying to do that, right? Trying to make every track kind of, slide into the next. And
right.
Then have the other end where it's just like, okay, this is track 1, this is track 2, and they're separate. And so I like that, her knowing how much of an impact she has on music in general, is bringing those elements back and being like, okay, this is how, if you're going to be creating an album, this is a story that you're telling, right? So
right.
It's like us reading a book. They're not going to put chapter 3 in a different book. They're going to, chapter 3 is going to be right behind chapter 2, and it's going to close off and end. And so I really like how she connected those and, gave an homage to what was done before. Because if you listen to music back in the, 80s and 90s, Marvin Gaye and all them, that's what they're doing. Those are those are continuous tracks, and they're just leading right into the next. So it's not.
I thought it was nice because, like, for instance, when you think of like Jhené Aiko's last project, like that project was literally the same instrumental through the whole entire project, and she just rewrote, you know, and nobody even noticed that, but she did it in a way that made you, you know, in the proper way that made you feel different. And I think that's the same thing Beyonce tapped into, making you feel like this is the same vibe, but not the same vibe at the same time. And it was just so seamless and raw and real. I was just like, I think she's crazy. There's something wrong with her. I do. I'm sorry. I was texting Seyquan and Isaiah, and I'm like, she's nuts. Like, I can't. Like, something's wrong with her. I can't. Could you even imagine? First of all, she recorded this over quarantine. I'm like, her house must have been insane. Like, while we were in the house watching Versus and bored eating, she was in the house doing that. I can't imagine.
Toryn, I know we were talking about earlier, you know, for a lot of her tracks, she reached back to an older album and was like, hey, can we use this same type of feel, this same vibe? Because, you know, I fucks with my own music, but I can't really, I don't want to plagiarize myself at this point, but reproduce it, you know, spruce it up a little bit and represented it in this album, right? Can you talk us through that, about like some of her older songs and how she kind of brought them back into this project?
Yeah, in my mind, honestly, like if you really pay attention, they said all the time, Beyonce recorded 87 songs on a yacht in 2 weeks and gave us B-Day, and then turned around and recorded it all, every single video, in 2 weeks. So literally, that's 70 plus songs that we have never even heard of. Can you just imagine all the other albums that never got played? So in my mind, when I was listening to Cuff It, it actually reminded me of Destiny's Child Nuclear. When I listened to Energy, it sounded like Jealousy from Black is King. Oops. Okay, that's a reminder. No, and honestly, when you listen to Cozy to me, really, Cozy sounds like something that would have been on B-Day. It sounded like if you heard Culture, if you heard Creole, if you heard the songs that didn't make it on that album, it sounds very much, Cozy would have probably been in between Green Light and Deja Vu. So it's like, when you're listening to like, even, what is that one song? I can't think of it right now, but when she actually started to get more electronic with it, those was references from I Am Sasha Fierce. Like she literally went past her, honey, she was walking past her damn hallway and she said, you know what, that album was cute. To me, the album gave the 20th anniversary Conti edition diamond remix of Dangerously in Love. That's literally what this album is to me. And I think that it also makes sense because if you really think about it, this is her 19th year as a solo artist. And when 2023 hit, that would hit her 20th year as a solo artist and her 25th year as just an artist. So I feel like she's doing those three parts to actually pay homage to each part of where she's been. And I feel like in Act 3, she's about to let us know exactly where she is today.
Yeah, do y'all think, like, what do y'all think Acts 2 and 3 are? Like, do you think those are albums as well? Do you think it's like a visual album, then a tour is part 3? Like, how do you think Acts 2 and 3 are like?
Beyonce said it's 3 parts to an album.
It's 3 parts.
Oh, it's a 3-part album.
Yeah, she said out of her mouth, it's 3 albums.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, she sat in quarantine and brewed and stewed that whole time while we was eating hog mugs and just being just bad.
While the girls was out here, they were creating OnlyFans and she was creating albums.
Okay. And you know, honestly, I agree with you so much when you said that with the Fighting Temptations era of Beyonce, the Plastic Off the Sofa and Virgo Grooves a little bit gives so much of that vocal. Like, she really just was walking by the albums like, hey girl, Fever, and the thing she did with Bilal.
And Wishing on a Star.
Yep.
Can we get into, like, let's open up the conversation to Plastic Off the Sofa and Virgo's.
Yes.
These tracks. These are powerhouse tracks on this album. Okay. Hands down, vocally, executed anybody who came near them. Okay, and it is vocally amazing. It's brilliant. So let's get into it. Let's open it up. How we feel about those?
Well, I would say, especially Virgo's Groove, Plastic Off the Sofa, that was just, it gave me very Solange vibes. I loved it. Like, it reminded me that they were sisters.
It reminded me of Proud Family.
Yes, exactly. It gave me that same vibe of them just singing together. And then with not Plastic Off the Sofa, with Virgo's Groove, vocally, that was just like, she demolished the entire, if you are questioning that lady can sing at this point, something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. I'm sorry, because it just
both of those songs back to back was literally for that. That was like, this is for the girls in the back.
This for the girls in the back.
This is for you girls who said that I couldn't sing, but you never can find one performance of me singing off key. This is for the girls in the back who said I can't run. I don't know why you thought that. Last time I checked 20 years ago, y'all was saying I was running too much. Now I don't run. How'd that work? Okay. And then she said, you know what? The difference between me and everyone else in Destiny's Child is I vocally produced everything. So listen to these backing vocals and hear that there would be no change. Now I have several seats. That's what both of them gave me back to back.
Right.
But I like the transition going into Virgo's Groove.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
That's when I heard Donna Summer, I heard Beyonce, I heard Solange. I really heard Solange because that was giving me Cranes in the Sky.
Plastic Off the Sofa also, it reminds me of Blow a little bit too. Like, and I kind of want to hear Blow and Plastic Off the Sofa like back to back. And the other thing with Plastic, I think Sid co-wrote on that, and it has a very Sid vibe to it to me too.
Seyquan, how you feeling? You making a face?
No, because I love Sid so much, and Sid low key, like she takes so much influence from Aaliyah, low key, high key, and it's insane.
That's to the highest key of them all, child.
Right? No, lowest key, like low key meaning no one knows, but highest key for those who know.
Right.
But in terms of Plastic Off the Sofa, for me, texturally, so much. There's so much.
The painting.
The word painting, the way she introduces the song to us is in a very in some space, right? And so for me, I'm seeing it as like a gradual, like a hump, really. So like the beginning of the song is really at the lowest point of that hump, and then towards the middle of it gets higher, and then it gradually goes back down. But that hump that we end on is higher than the beginning of that hump, because the texture in the backing vocals is ridiculous.
You know what I think the reason why I gave Fighting Temptations as well is because the real instruments.
Honey, the guitar.
The use of real instruments is something powerful.
Oh, the bass?
The bass, the guitar.
Oh my God.
It was the drums. It was disgusting.
But in my mind, though, I feel like that's every Beyonce album except I Am Sasha Fierce. She's going to give you some instruments.
No, she's going to give you... And
she's giving you live
There's so much power in that.
But honestly, I felt more Fighting Temptations for Plastic Off the Sofa. I didn't get Blow for Plastic Off the Sofa. I got Blow for Virgo's Groove. I got Blow for that. And that in that interlude before you got there, the actual texture and the vocals of what she was giving for Plastic on the Sofa. And I just really appreciate that she didn't yell once. Okay.
Me too. No,
just sing on a track.
It was so soft and light and just pretty, like a fairy, like a butterfly. She was just floating around the whole thing. I loved how she just played on thick and she was just being dumb. I loved it. I loved it.
And then Virgo's Groove, she said, look, let me really tell you.
Right. I loved it.
I want to invite Isaiah back into the conversation.
Right.
I know, or Zaya Moore, excuse me. I know that you were doing your homework when it came to these lyrics, okay? Can you talk us through what she was doing with her word painting, with her lyrical choice? Give us the rundown.
Amen.
in general, she's doing all sorts of fancy things with the song. For I think the most formatically like simple song is probably Cozy, and even that has its variation. You know, you have your comfortable in my skin.
Hey.
You know, that she kind of just gives it to you, whereas like you guys were talking about Plastic Off the Couch and Virgo's Groove, though they have more, they're related more to, like you said, the text painting that she wants to create and what she wants to emote specifically. But when it comes to some of the lyrics that she was writing, I know in Church Girl,
amen.
To me,
can we please talk about Church Girl? Can we please talk? Okay.
So, Church Girl,
Church Girl. Okay, quick take, mine. I'm sorry. I love that she freed them girls because nobody talks about that in the Black community. The tormented Black girls who are in church and are judged because they want to go out to the club and want to do this and that. No one ever. What song can anybody name that is about that? Mum's the word.
Church
so
girl.
yeah, Church Girl, amen. And so I just love Beyonce for that, absolutely. And I loved all of it. Come on, Twinkie.
Absolutely. No, she talks about, I forget what the flow is, but she basically says, it must be the cash because it ain't your face.
Okay. Honey, that's so messy. No. what I loved about that is because it's like how men also say, you know, it must be your ass because it ain't your face. Well, honey, it must be your cash because it sure ain't yours.
Amen.
Honey, it may have taken 20 years, but she finally gave the girls a clap back.
Right.
Listen.
Period.
That's
it. We're going to play a little game real quick in the 2 seconds that we have. Category is, okay? Judges, I need your scores. Okay? Best Beyonce single for Break My Soul. Come off mute. Give us your scores, judges.
Oh. On any of her albums. Jesus.
Wait
a minute.
I'm sorry.
Oh wow, girl, that's
give
hard.
us your score for Break My Soul as it compares to her other albums that she released, her other singles from her other albums.
Compared?
Oh, I'm giving that a 6.
I have to give that like a ooh.
6. Sorry.
I was gonna easily say 5.
I'm giving it 2.
Honey,
no,
hold on. A 2. Somebody went too far.
Compared to what?
Other?
I'm gonna give my girl. I'm gonna give my girl a 9. I'm sorry. I'm gonna give my girl a smooth 9. I'm gonna give her a 9. You know why? Because I didn't when a single came out, I did not understand it. Right? It wasn't until the album came out and I heard it in its place where it belonged that it made sense to me and it was beautiful and I understoed. So I don't know. I liked it and I thought the vocal was good. I thought the vocals were.
Your scores.
I
7.
was about to say, I could give you a solid 7.
Solid 7. Okay.
I'm gonna go
Category
6.
is Best Produced and Engineered Album of the Year. Judges, your scores.
10 across the board.
10, yeah.
10, yeah. I'm sorry.
Production's great.
Yes, production was crazy.
10.
Say 9.
And if she don't win something, we gonna know something. That's all I gotta say.
Zaya?
We gonna know it all.
Oh, 10 then. For production, 10.
Best Pop Vocal Album of the Year. Judges, your scores.
So far, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm giving, yeah. And who else put something out?
I mean, Lizzo, I guess. But Beyonce's literally predicted to be the first woman to hit #1 this entire year. So you girls haven't done anything. So yes, Pop Vocals of the Year. Even Adele didn't give it like she was supposed to.
That was last year.
Wait, because last year. Does Jasmine's Deluxe count?
No, that's R&B, right?
Yeah, hello,
that's urban. Yeah, that's urban.
The best R&B and urban vocal album.
Sorry, Shell.
Sorry.
Judges, your scores. What are we ranking compared to the girls who sing down boots?
Wait, what?
I'm gonna do a 9.
I'm gonna say 8.5.
I like that.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Yeah.
For vocals?
Wait, I mean, if we're talking,
you asking
in comparison? Yes, because let's be real. Beyonce gave vocals, but Beyonce wasn't giving Beyonce vocals. Like she didn't really eat the girls. She just let the girls know that she can sing and y'all can have several seats. But Jasmine
Ooh.
literally swept the girls, mopped the girls, and then called the janitor for them to go and air dry the floor. Sorry.
I mean, I guess we could say mother gave a light sprinkling, but
honey,
I mean,
yeah,
that was a heavy sprinkling for me.
me,
I'm sorry.
like,
I
didn't say a light
only be the first.
She gave me like, when you're trying to water the grass. That's what Beyonce gave me. She gave me grass nourishment.
Okay, we're going to finish it off with album of the year. Judges, your scores quickly.
Easily.
Absolutely.
12.
I don't even want nobody else to put nothing out. Don't put nothing else out.
You can do whatever you want.
Just let her have it. She got it.
We have about 3 minutes.
Honestly, never mind.
Let's give our top 3 tracks on the album. Andre, let's start with you. Top 3.
We didn't already talked about mine, but mine are literally Cozy, Plastic Off the Sofa, and Church Girl.
Kamar, we're coming to you.
Mine is Alien Superstar. Heated. Love Heated. And I would say I would have to say Virgo's Groove, and Plastic Off the Sofa is an honorable mention. I love it.
Okay. Mother Toryn, how we feeling? Top 3.
I'm feeling Summer Renaissance. I'm feeling Cut Off. I'm feeling Virgo's Groove.
Say.
Pure Honey and Thick is an honorable mention, and we all know we're gonna shake this ass on Move.
Yep.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, no, because Move is definitely an honorable mention too.
Okay.
Seyquan.
I'm gonna go Plastic Off the Sofa. I'm gonna go Alien Superstar, and then I'm gonna go Virgo's Groove. Yeah. Yeah.
Zay.
I'm gonna have to go with Cozy, Move, and Honey. I'm gonna have to. Move came out and it just did something to me. I said, this is just talking shit.
I loved it. Loved every moment of it.
Okay, let me give y'all about 3. Okay, Cuff It and Energy are I gotta categorize them as one because I'm trying to fit a couple more. So Cuff It and Energy.
You bogus because you ain't give us that chance. But
right.
Heated.
That's my honorable mention. Child.
Heated. And then
that's why I follow suit.
It has to be Plastic Off the Sofa. I just want to thank everybody for taking time out of their busy day to come sit and talk Renaissance with me. I also want to give a shout out to Anna. Thank you so much for allowing us to have the platform to talk about queer topics. Renaissance, Beyonce, this album was for us. We know, Pure Honey and Heated being one of the biggest indicators. And I just want to thank y'all so much for joining me. I enjoyed this conversation. I hope the audience got so much out of it. Y'all gave such a unique take because all of y'all are so knowledgeable and are musicians as well. So, tune in. Hopefully we'll have one of these again. Tune into that next time. And until then, peace out, everybody.
Bye.
If you enjoyed what you hear, rate and review us inside your favorite podcasting app. This podcast is a production of E3 Radio, your #1 queer radio station playing queer music and reporting on queer news in high rotation.